What if events went differently in the Star Wars and DC universe? What if Star Wars versus DC? Imagine a universe where the Star Wars and DC universes ended up colliding in a huge fight to the finish, an earth-shattering fight to the finish. It would be very interesting to see characters such as Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine fighting alongside or the Justice League. It would be very different to see the Justice League actually fighting like Anakin or Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. There's so many different things, but I've really wanted to do this series for so long, and I've really wanted to do like Darth Vader versus Superman. So again, my fellow watchers, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video and wanting to watch this video, because we're going to get right into it. So again, grab some popcorn because things are going to be insane. The pivotal events on Cloud City set the stage for the story. Darth Vader captures Han Solo and freezes him in carbonite. Leia, Chewbacca, and Lando Calrissian attempt a rescue, but are forced to flee. In a climactic duel, Darth Vader confronts Luke Skywalker, revealing that he is Luke's father. During the fight, Vader severs Luke's hand, and Luke barely escapes, wounded and shocked, with the help of Leia and Lando. They board the Millennium Falcon and make a daring escape. In this alternate timeline, the events begin similarly with Luke's escape. However, driven by a desire to overthrow Emperor Palpatine and rule the galaxy with his son, Vader is determined to capture Luke. As the Millennium Falcon flees Cloud City, Vader aggressively pursues in his TIE Advanced fighter, unwilling to let his son slip away. Lando pilots the Falcon, with Lando Calrissian piloting and Chewbacca assisting. Inside, a severely wounded Luke Skywalker, his hand recently severed by Darth Vader, struggled to stay conscious. Leia tended to him, her worry etched on her face. Darth Vader, refusing to let Luke escape, pursued the Millennium Falcon in his TIE Advanced fighter. He focused on the Falcon, his anger and desperation fueling his every move. Prepare to fire, Vader commanded his ship's computer, locking onto the Falcon. He unleashed a volley of laser blasts, determined to capture his son. As Lando maneuvered the Falcon through the asteroid field, a swirling vortex suddenly appeared in the middle of space, its gravitational pull distorting the fabric of reality. The Falcon's sensors went haywire, detecting the anomaly. "What in blazes is that?" Lando exclaimed, trying to keep the Falcon steady. Leia looked out the viewport, her eyes widening. "We need to avoid it. That vortex could tear us apart." Lando adjusted the controls, but Vader's relentless pursuit left them little room to maneuver. As Vader prepared for another attack, Lando took a desperate shot at the TIE Advanced fighter. The blast from the Falcon's cannon hit Vader's ship, causing it to spin uncontrollably. The TIE Advanced fighter careened into the vortex, disappearing into its swirling depths. The Falcon barely escaped the vortex's pull, speeding away into the vastness of space. Inside the vortex, Vader's ship was tossed and turned, its systems failing under the immense pressure. Suddenly, with a flash of blinding light, the TIE fighter was expelled from the vortex and crash-landed on an unfamiliar planet. Darth Vader's damaged ship lay smoldering on the lush, green surface of a strange world. He emerged from the wreckage, his suit's life support system struggling to keep him alive. As he took in his surroundings, he sensed a powerful presence nearby. News of Vader's arrival had spread through the Emerald Expanse like wildfire. The Green Lanterns, an unwavering legion of cosmic warriors, rallied to defend their home world. Their ethereal rings, pulsating with vibrant energy, surged with a righteous fire, ready to confront the invading evil. As Vader's colossal star destroyer crashed on the planet Owen, the sky erupted in a kaleidoscope of emerald light. thousands of Green Lanterns, their willpower coalescing into formidable constructs, intercepted their deadly foe. A deafening thunderclap echoed through the void as the two cosmic armies collided. Vader's lightsaber ignited, a crimson blade of destruction cutting through everyone in his path. Lanterns unleashed their energy blasts, the emerald bolts crashing against Vader's impenetrable armor with deafening force. The Sith Lord deflected the attacks with disdain, his mastery of the Force shattering their constructs like celestial shards. Amidst the chaotic battle, two figures emerged as the focal point of this cosmic showdown. Hal Jordan, the fearless Earthling who wielded the power of will, and Vader, the embodiment of the dark side. Their wills clashed, the emerald and the crimson, illuminating the void with an unyielding radiance. Hal summoned a towering construct, an emerald titan that dwarfed Vader's Star Destroyer. With incredible speed, it lunged towards the Sith Lord, its emerald fist crackling with cosmic energy. Vader countered and used his lightsaber to cut off the hand of Green Lantern and kicked him to the ground. Hal looked at the dark figure before Darth Vader plunged his lightsaber into the Green Lantern's heart as Hal screamed out in pain. Vader then proceeds to conquering the planet and killing all except one who has mentioned something about all rings and the immense power they carry. Vader knew that this information could be useful to him, and if he had all these rings, just maybe he could become the new Emperor of the galaxy. Back at the Justice League Association, Batman gets a weird vibe and tries contacting Green Lantern, but wasn't going through. Superman, seeing the frustration on his face, asks what was wrong, and after Batman explains his frustration to him, Superman decides to check it out himself, to put Batman at ease. But with Batman's plea to go with the team, Superman arrives at planet Oa only to be greeted with a horrific scene as bodies belonging to Green Lantern Corps were littered everywhere. Superman sees stab wounds in everyone, blood everywhere as he continues to walk around the planet that is a ghost town of dead aliens. He scans the whole city for a survivor, and ends up stumbling over a dead Hal Jordan who is missing an arm. Filled with grief, he decided to bring whoever did such monstrosity to justice, and at that moment he heard someone cough not too far from him. He gets to the last survivor, Kilowog, who had smoke coming out of his chest. He was stabbed in the middle and somehow was clinging for life. "I know just his name," he said. "Who?" Superman asked, Superman comforting him in his arms as he passes away. Superman relays the information to Batman before storming off to find Vader. Hours have passed and Superman tracks Vader to the Red Lantern's domain. The confrontation takes place in the cold emptiness of space. Vader, now wielding the power of the Red Lantern ring, has one of the rings. He uses the dark side in the Ring of Rage to launch a barrage of dark side energy at Superman, who deflects the attacks effortlessly. Realizing brute force alone isn't enough, Vader uses the Red Lantern ring's power, amplifying his already formidable abilities. Superman, taken aback by Vader's transformation, struggles to defend against the onslaught. Drawing upon his own vast reserves of strength and willpower, Superman breaks free and unleashes a devastating blast of heat vision, searing through Vader's energy form. As Vader stood over the fallen Superman, he realized the potential in turning such a powerful being to the dark side. He decided to bring Superman to Emperor Palpatine, knowing his master would relish the opportunity to corrupt the last son of Krypton. Using the Force, Vader restrained Superman and transported him back to his Star Destroyer, setting a course for Coruscant. Back at the Justice League Association Tower, Batman continued to experience a disturbing sense of foreboding. Unable to contact Green Lantern and now losing communication with Superman, he called for an emergency meeting with the rest of the Justice League. Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter assembled quickly. Batman explained the situation, emphasizing the need to find Superman. Using his unparalleled detective skills and advanced technology, Batman devised a plan to track Superman's unique energy signature across the cosmos. With the help of Cyborg and the Watchtower's advanced sensors, they pinpointed Superman's location in the heart of the Empire. On Coruscant, Emperor Palpatine awaited Vader's arrival with eager anticipation. When Vader presented the unconscious Superman, Palpatine's eyes gleamed with dark delight. He could sense that Vader was now more powerful than ever, as Vader's suit with the power of the Red Ring glowed. Palpatine smiled. "Welcome," Palpatine hissed. "I can offer you power beyond your wildest dreams. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy." Superman resisted Palpatine's temptations. "I'll never join you," he spat in his face. Palpatine, undeterred, used Force lightning on Superman and showcased Force visions of a corrupted Earth, twisted and broken under the Empire's rule. He demonstrated how the power of the dark side could save it, twisting the truth to sow seeds of doubt and anger in Superman's mind. Using a combination of Cyborg's advanced tech and Green Lantern's ring power, the Justice League arrived on Coruscant in a stealth ship. They infiltrated the Imperial palace, fighting through waves of stormtroopers and Sith apprentices. Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash led the way, their unique abilities overwhelming the Imperial defenses. As they approached the throne room, they encountered Darth Vader, who stood as the final barrier between them and Superman. A fierce battle ensued, with each member of the Justice League utilizing their strengths against the Sith Lord. Batman's strategic mind, Wonder Woman's Amazonian combat skills, and the Flash's super speed created a formidable combination. But Vader's mastery of the Force made him a nearly insurmountable opponent. Inside the throne room, Palpatine intensified his efforts to turn Superman. He sensed the arrival of the Justice League and grew desperate. Using the Force, he created a barrier to hold them at bay. Superman, seeing his friends struggle, found a renewed sense of purpose. He broke free from his restraints and confronted Palpatine. "You may have power, but you underestimate the strength of the human spirit," Superman declared. As the Justice League finally broke through Vader's defenses and entered the throne room, they saw Superman standing tall against Palpatine. Together they launched a coordinated attack, combining their powers to break Palpatine's hold on Superman and the dark side. Palpatine, realizing he was outmatched, unleashed his final plan. He revealed his desire to obtain the Lantern Rings, which could amplify his dark side powers to unimaginable levels. Using the Force, he began to draw the rings towards him, intending to absorb their power. Green Lantern Hal Jordan, weakened but not defeated, appeared in the doorway, supported by Batman, who smiled. "You won't get away with this," Hal declared, using his remaining strength to summon the rings back. In a dramatic clash of wills, the Justice League fought to keep the rings away from Palpatine. With a final surge of combined power, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and Green Lantern managed to shatter Palpatine's control, sending the rings back to their rightful owners. Palpatine, cornered and desperate, pulled out his lightsabers, revealing his true skill as a Sith Lord. The Justice League surrounded him, ready for a final confrontation. Batman noticed Vader's fallen lightsaber and picked it up, prepared to join the fight with a new weapon. The throne room erupted into chaos. Palpatine, wielding his lightsabers with deadly precision, fought against the combined might of the Justice League. Wonder Woman parried his strikes with her bracelets. The Flash used his speed to create openings, and Batman, using Vader's lightsaber, engaged in a fierce duel. During the battle, Palpatine targeted Batman with a vicious strike, severing his leg. Superman screamed as Palpatine used the Force and threw Batman to the wall. This gave Superman everything he needed. Superman, filled with rage, screamed and threw himself at Palpatine. Using his laser vision, he cut through Palpatine's Force lighting, as the lighting and heat vision began meeting with each other. Superman continued to walk closer and closer to him as Palpatine screamed for Vader to help, but he stood there still watching his master die in front of him. With a final, decisive blow, Superman unleashed his full power, using his laser vision to burn through Palpatine, disintegrate him. The Sith Lord screamed in agony as he was consumed by Superman's relentless attack, ultimately falling to the ground, defeated and lifeless. As Vader realized the battle was lost, he tried to escape the planet. At the last second, a yellow ring, sensing the immense fear within Vader, chose him as its bearer. The ring granted him the power to regenerate his severed arm and leg, making him whole once more. Empowered by the yellow ring of fear, Vader engaged Superman in a final, intense duel. With his newfound power, Vader unleashed a torrent of fear-fueled energy at Superman, who dodged and deflected the blast with incredible agility. The two titans clashed in midair, their blows sending shockwaves throughout the room. Vader swung his lightsaber with lethal precision, but Superman's speed and strength allowed him to evade the deadly blade. Vader's yellow ring created constructs of pure fear, monstrous apparitions that attacked Superman from all angles. Superman fought back with his heat vision and super strength, destroying the constructs one by one. The battle raged on, each combatant pushing themselves to the limit. Vader, now more powerful than ever, used the ring to amplify his Force abilities. He unleashed a powerful Force push that sent Superman crashing through a wall. Superman quickly recovered and retaliated with a powerful punch that sent Vader flying across the room. The two warriors clashed again, their blows causing the very ground beneath them to tremble. Vader used his lightsaber to deflect Superman's heat vision, the energy crackling against the blade. Superman charged forward, delivering a series of powerful punches that staggered Vader. Vader, fueled by rage and fear, summoned all his strength and delivered a powerful strike with his lightsaber, cutting deep into Superman's side. Superman cried out in pain but refused to back down. With a fierce determination, he grabbed Vader by the arm and hurled him across the room. As Vader struggled to his feet, Superman flew towards him with incredible speed. With a final, decisive blow, Superman punched Vader with all his might, shattering the Sith Lord's armor and sending him crashing to the ground. Vader lay on the ground defeated and broken. The yellow ring, unable to sustain its power, fell off his finger and clattered to the floor. "You've lost, Vader," Superman said. "Your reign of terror is over." Vader, his face partially hidden by his damaged helmet, struggled to rise. "You think this ends here, Kryptonian," he rasped. "The dark side, it never truly dies." Before Vader could muster any further defiance, Batman stepped forward, his cape billowing in the wind. Holding Vader's own lightsaber, he glared down at the fallen Sith. "You're coming with us," Batman declared. "Your days of causing pain and suffering are over." As Batman stood still, having his lightsaber towards his neck, Vader realized that he was in the same situation as Count Dooku. He didn't know who these people were or what they were capable of doing to him, so he played it safe by just giving up. Superman and Batman secured Vader, binding him with restraints that suppressed his use of the Force. They escorted him to their ship, preparing to bring him back to their universe for judgment. As the ship ascended into space, the Justice League stood in silent vigil over their captive. Superman watched Vader intently, his expression unreadable. "Why, Vader?" Why choose this path of darkness and destruction? Vader just listened silently. There is always a choice, Vader. It's never too late to seek redemption. Batman, standing guard, added, "You will answer for your crimes, but maybe, just maybe, there is still a chance for you to find some semblance of peace." Vader remained silent, his thoughts a tumultuous storm as he began having flashbacks of everything that led up to this point. With Palpatine and Vader defeated, the Empire was left in disarray. The Justice League, though battered, stood victorious. News of the Empire's fall spread quickly across the galaxy. Luke Skywalker sat in Yoda's hut on Dagobah, his mind deep in thought, as he absorbed his final Jedi training of his late master. The stillness of the swamp was suddenly broken by the arrival of a spectral figure. It was the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi, glowing faintly in the dim light. Luke, Obi-Wan's voice, echoed softly. "I bring news from beyond." Luke looked up, his eyes filled with curiosity and concern. "What is it, Obi-Wan?" "The Empire has fallen," Obi-Wan began. "The Justice League from another universe has defeated both Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. Their reign of terror is over." Luke's heart skipped a beat. "Vader, my father, is he?" Obi-Wan nodded solemnly. "Yes, Anakin is no more. He was taken down in a final battle with Superman, but in his last moments, a yellow ring of fear chose him as its bearer, granting him immense power and the ability to regenerate his severed limbs. Even with the dark side and his new powers, Vader could not overcome Superman." Luke closed his eyes. "So, it is over. The galaxy is free." "Not entirely," Obi-Wan continued. Before his end, Darth Vader was taken by a group of people from the Justice League. They have left this galaxy, taking Vader with them. The Empire, without its leaders, is in disarray. A flicker of hope ignited in Luke's heart. This could be the beginning of a new era, Obi-Wan, a time of peace and rebuilding the Jedi Order. Obi-Wan's ghostly form shimmered with approval. "Indeed, Luke, the rebellion has already heard of the Empire's demise. The galaxy will need your guidance in the times to come." Luke nodded, his resolve strengthening. "I will do my best to honor the legacy of the Jedi and help restore balance." Obi-Wan smiled warmly. "You have grown, Luke. Your father's fall has brought about a new hope. May the Force be with you, always." As Obi-Wan's apparition faded away, Luke felt different. He didn't know how to take everything, but as soon as he finished talking with Obi-Wan, Yoda was gone too. Luke sat on a rock contemplating his next course of action. The galaxy had changed forever, and he was ready to lead the charge into a new, brighter future. Back in the DC universe, Darth Vader was placed in a high-security cell, his restraints ensuring he could not use the Force. The Justice League monitored him closely, knowing the threat he still posed. One night, as the world slept, a shadowy figure infiltrated the facility. With precise and deliberate movements, the figure bypassed security and approached Vader's cell. The restraints holding Vader were expertly dismantled, and the Sith Lord slowly rose to his feet. Free once more, Vader turned to his mysterious liberator. "Who are you?" he demanded. The figure stepped into the light, revealing themselves to be the Joker. The Joker's grin stretched wide as he met Vader's intense gaze. "I'm just a fan of chaos," he said with a mischievous twinkle in his eye. "And it seems you and I have a lot in common." Vader's eyes narrowed behind his mask. "You freed me. What do you want in return?" The Joker chuckled softly. "Oh, nothing too complicated. Just a bit of anarchy to spice things up. I hear you're good at making things ... interesting." Before Vader could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. The Joker's plan to release Vader had not gone unnoticed. "Looks like our time is running short," Joker said, stepping back into the shadows. "Time to make our exit, Dark Lord." Vader, now free of his restraints, extended his hand and used the Force to clear a path through the facility's defenses. The Joker, though impressed, couldn't help but laugh at the spectacle. They navigated their way through the facility's corridors, eventually making their way outside just as the Justice League began to mobilize. "Now that we're out in the open," Joker said, "what's next on your agenda?" Vader considered his options. "My purpose is to restore order to the galaxy. I will need resources, allies, and a strategy to regain power." The Joker's eyes gleamed with twisted excitement. "And I know just the place to start. Gotham City isn't too far from here. It's a playground of corruption and chaos. We could certainly stir up some trouble there." Vader used the Force to choke the Joker, lifting him off the ground. The Joker's eyes widened in panic. "You will help me," Vader demanded, his voice cold and commanding. "I need to return to my galaxy to take my rightful place as Emperor. If you do not assist me, you will suffer." The Joker gasped for breath, struggling against Vader's grip. All right, I'll help you." And that is going to be it for today's video on what if the Star Wars universe fought the DC universe. And if you guys enjoyed part 1, I would highly recommend that you guys subscribe, like, share, and turn those notifications on so you and your friends are all up to date with the latest content. And I would highly recommend that you check out the Patreon as well as the Substack, as both have exclusive things on each platform. So the Substack has more of like a writer's perspective. If you guys want to see my writing, that's where you would go. Or if you guys would like to see more behind the scenes stuff, I would highly recommend that you go to my Patreon. But again, thank you so much for watching this episode, and I will see you in the brand new Star Wars vs. DC episode.